No matter what the circumstances, whether it's a networking event, a lunch with a client, a trip, or even a party, you can learn how to talk to anyone. If you're watching this video, then that means that you want to improve your communication strategy. Maybe you are already good at it and would like to hear some extra tips to make you even better. Or maybe you're very shy, introverted, and when it comes to speaking with strangers, you simply panic. Watch this video till the end to find out all the tips you need to become better at communicating and talk with anyone and anywhere. Hi, my name is Alina and I'm a co-founder of Conversational Consulting and I specialize in communication. There are so many people out there. Some of them are very easygoing and easy to talk to. Some others, well, it seems like you're getting along at the beginning, but then somehow the conversation stops flowing. And there are those that are a nightmare to talk to. It feels like pulling teeth. Their answers are short, they look disengaged, and it seems like they are simply bored. I've been in all of the situations mentioned, and I know how frustrating it can be when you can't talk to someone you've just met. Sometimes you can turn around and talk to someone else, which is perfectly fine, but there are times when you need to speak with that specific person. I've learned, I've observed, I have made friends with the difficult ones. I know what works, what doesn't work. So today I'm going to give you 3 tips that will definitely help you to become better at communicating and so that you can talk with anyone with ease. So the first thing is starting a conversation. So if you have been introduced to someone at an event, then it becomes so much easier because you at least have one person in common, you know how to talk to this person, you are at the same event. However, if you want to approach someone and you don't know anyone at an event, well, this is when things get slightly more difficult. But don't worry, there are at least 4 strategies that you can use. So the first one would be make a compliment. Yes, you can approach someone and say something nice about them and positive. Let's say there's this speaker at an event that you really want to talk to and you listen to the speech and you think it's amazing. So you can come up to this person and say, wow, what a great speech. I like the part especially about the globalization. Or if it's someone who's sitting next to you, you can always turn to them and say, what a beautiful bag you have. Where did you get it? So saying something nice and positive about someone else, it will always help you to start a conversation on a good note. The second strategy you could use is you can ask for an opinion. So for example, you can turn to someone and ask, so what did you think about the event or the conference? What is your opinion? Or you are attending the same party and you can ask someone, what do you think about the music, the food, the place, etc. So when you ask someone for their opinion, it makes them feel slightly more important because they think that you care about their opinion, which is also very good. The third strategy you could use is you can ask them for help. Let's say you arrived to a new building, you don't know how to find a conference A. Look for someone who is maybe dressed appropriately to the event that you're going to, and you can approach them and say something like, oh, I'm sorry, do you know where the conference A is? And then like that, the other person feels a little bit obliged to help you, so hopefully you start a small talk and a conversation. And the final one, number 4, which is my top favorite, is a simple introduction. Hi, my name is Alina. I thought I'd introduce myself. This is very simple, but it always works. I remember a few months ago, I went to this event and I didn't know anyone. And I thought, well, I need to make new, meaningful connections. So I observed people and I noticed that there was this one man who was very social and it looked like he knew almost everyone. I decided to approach him. So I went up to him and I said, hi, my name is Alina. And then we started talking. He also introduced himself. We probably talked for 30 or 40 minutes. And then he confessed. He said, you know what? You were very brave. Because here it's not very common for people. They don't come up to me and they don't introduce themselves like that. I really like that. And then he introduced me to other people. So basically the night was a success. Once you've introduced yourself and you know the other person's name, go to the next step, number 2, which is make the other person feel like you care. And there are several things that you can do. So be aware of your body language, of your gestures, and your facial expressions. So your body language should be open. So don't cross your arms, don't cross your legs, because that might seem that you are closed off and you don't want to talk to anyone. So on the contrary, open it, be open. This will give a good first impression. This will also make you look more confident and approachable. When it comes to gestures, it's okay to use gestures when you're talking. Most of the times try to use the gestures palms up, because that is a sign of friendliness. When it comes to your facial expressions, try to relax your facial expressions, nod when the other person is talking. That will show that you're actually interested in what they're saying. Smile time to time and maintain good eye contact. So try to look at them and don't be distracted. Avoid looking at someone else or looking in thin air, because this can be quite distracting. And maybe you're thinking, which is fine when you look somewhere for a few seconds, but when you're looking for longer than that, this is not a good sign. I remember a few years ago I went to another event with my coworker, and we met this group of people from another company. And we started talking, and then I realized that the man in front of me, he was looking at me, and then he was looking behind me. And then at some point he started fixing his hair, and then he started making funny grimaces, and it looked just really weird. And then I realized that there was a mirror behind me. So I thought that that man was probably more interested in looking at himself than actually talking to the rest of the group. So trust me, I didn't have a very good first impression of this person. And then another tip I can give you to make someone else feel like you care is remembering their name. Everyone loves to hear their name. So whenever they say their name, repeat it, because this is going to help you to remember it better. And then throughout the conversation, maybe mention it once or twice again, obviously when it's appropriate, because this will also show that you care, you mentioned their name, and they will catch it and they will receive it in a positive way. And the final step, step number 3, ask open-ended questions. Avoid asking questions where you know the answer could be yes or no. So ask open-ended questions. For example, what are your hobbies? What are your interests? If it's a networking event, obviously ask, what do you do for a living? What service do you provide? And once you've asked those questions, listen to their response. And once you hear what they have to say, find things in common. So let's say this person likes reading books, and you also like to read books, so you can ask additional questions. So you can say something like, okay, so what kind of books do you like to read? Or what was the last book that you read? Which book can you recommend? Etc. So on that, you can start and continue the conversation. Another very important thing here is when they reply to your question, listen to what they have to say and respond and share your own information. Remember, this is a conversation, so one person speaks, then the other person speaks. So you have to speak, both of you. So that is going to be very helpful for you. So please write in the comments below the topics you like to talk about, the topics you don't like to talk about, and they make you feel uncomfortable, so that people know which topics they should use. Well, these were the 3 major tips that will definitely help you to become a better communicator, but there are some things that you should avoid doing. So what not to do? So the first thing is, don't ask too many questions. It's good to ask questions because this is going to continue a conversation, but don't ask too many, because this is going to make the other person feel like they are in an interview. It might make them feel a little bit uncomfortable. So you don't want that. So you want them to feel at ease. And if you feel like you've asked too many questions, you can always make a joke and say, I'm so sorry, this interview is over, or something like that. But try not to ask too many questions. The second thing you should avoid doing is try not to talk about yourself too much. Yes, this is a conversation. This is not a monologue. Nobody wants there to listen to your monologue or biography. So try to make a conversation, make it light, make it fun, make it easy. This leads me to the next point. Try not to talk about your problems, about your breakup, your divorce, or horrible boss, or health issues. This is the first time you meet someone, so you want their first impression to be positive about you, and they don't need to hear all these problems that you've been having. If you feel like you've had this great chemistry, you can always meet them again, and if you develop a friendship, it's okay to talk about these things, but not the first time, not during a networking event. So please remember that. And finally, preferably don't ask very personal questions. What I mean by this, don't ask questions about their dreams and goals in life, about their marriage or problems. You don't want to ask that the first time. People also don't feel that comfortable sharing this kind of information with someone they've just met. So also avoid asking those questions and looking a little bit noisy. Well, thank you for watching. I hope these tips were very useful. Please subscribe to my channel, comment, like, and share if you like the video. And well, until next time, bye.